Welcome to the Creator Studio.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. You're a software engineer at Google and also an internal career coach.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your career journey and transition. So you've worked at startups like Amazon and now Google. How has each environment shaped you in your approach as an engineer?
Yeah, sure. So when I first graduated, I went to my professor's startup. I've been there for like half a year, and then I went to my internship company, and then Amazon and Google. So I think that experience, through the startup experience, I get to really build things and moving really fast. I get to experience the startup culture, and then I moved to when I transit to Amazon and Google, I get to learn the big tech culture, and then so I think the experience. It really helps me to understand different aspects of technology and also different company culture. So, now I'm recently pivoting to develop relations. So I feel like all the experience, now I can connect the dots. Because in startup, I learned to build a full stack. I learned to, I built a whole full stack application for for the startup. And then for Amazon, I was working on focusing microservices on the backend side, and on Google, I also building the RPC service. And I kind of like get a taste of different aspects of the tech. And now as a developer, you have to, build more like architecture level things. So because I've been tasting different aspects of it, and then now it makes so much sense for me to connect the dots and understand when I try to build design architecture. I think all the experience, so now when I look back, I think all the experience helps me to understand technology easily and then learn the things.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And when did you start becoming an internal coach?
Oh, that's a good question. So I became an internal coach in Google 2 years ago.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so when I first joined Google, I joined a suite, and then I software engineer, and I got promoted pretty fast. But after that, I was looking for more growth. And then I was thinking, okay, how do I design my career path? Which direction should I go? How do I find my passion? So I have so many questions about my career and my life. So I know there's a terminology called career coach, but I don't know what that is. Therefore, I was thinking, why don't I just learn what is coaching and try to help me figure out myself and potentially help other people. So I first learn coaching around 2 or 3 years ago. And then during the time I finished a certificate, I started to work as an internal career coach in Google. So right now I've been coaching more than 500 sessions, like talking to different Googler about their career problem, and then about their communication challenge, and then how to help them design a career path or find their passion, or like better communicate with their manager, stuff like that.
What are the common misconceptions in communication, do you think?
Oh, so you're asking what are the common questions people?
Yeah, probably. Like when they're
Yeah.
communicating or having difficulties,
Yeah.
and they're coming with you with the problems internally, what do you think are the most common questions?
I think a lot of it comes from different, people have different priority, and people have a different working style.
Yeah.
For example, if one manager really prioritize timeline, and then their report really prioritize quality.
Yeah.
So they may want to have longer time for shipping a better product. So they may have different opinion.
Yeah.
And then if the manager or the teammate, they like to care more about things more than people's feeling, they may overlook like personal feelings. So the people in the team can feel a little bit demotivated, or like they don't feel recognized. So that's some people have that problem. So by helping them better communicate, they realize that, how to better communicate. I feel like this is not recognized, and this is what I need, and then so that they can better communicate what they actually want from their manager or from their teammates to make them feel more motivated at their work.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you share some tips with us that you're advising other internal employees to do?
Yeah, I would say like it's really important to care about feedback. You need to give good feedback and listen to good feedback. So to give feedback is not about, so for example, I give a talk, I ask you, hey, what do you think of my talk? You think, oh, it's good or it's not good. So that is not really helpful feedback. So what is a good feedback is first you share your observation. So they have a model called Beer's model. So first you share the observation of the behavior. Say, for example, I'm speaking fast. And then you're saying, what are your expectation on me? Is you expect me, so what is the impact? Like the beer is BEER. The first E is effect, is if I'm speaking fast, the effect is people cannot follow me.
Yeah.
It's too fast. So the expectation is I expect you to speak a little bit slower at the beginning so people can follow. So this expectation. And the last R is a result. If I speak slower, then people can follow me at the beginning. They enjoy the talk more. So when you deliver feedback, oftentimes I share this model with them, like BER, beer model, so that you share the observation, share what does impact have on the people, and then share what is your expectation. This is very important because if you tell people, I don't like your working style, they don't know how to change.
Right.
So if you tell them, oh, I expect if you do this like this way, then they will have a positive impact on the task. So that way people feel more convinced, and then you have the evidence. You share it's evidence-based feedback. So that's usually really helpful.
Okay, great. Yeah. And how long do those sessions take usually? Like when you're working with the clients? Are those weeks? Are those months?
So in Google, it's like people have drop-in session. It's a one-time session.
Okay.
But if we feel connected, we usually have a recurrent call. Just we can design a long-term goal. For example, long-termly you want to feel more productive. So we are trying to find a way to measure the productivity and motivation level, and then like every time we meet, we checking on how you feel based on your long-term goal.
Yeah.
And with that, we can tackle anything you want to talk about for a specific session.
Okay, fantastic. And what advice would you give to someone early in their career who wants to thrive in tech but feels overwhelmed? What do you think?
The first thing comes to mind is it's very common to feel overwhelmed at the beginning because there's so many new things, especially if you're a student and then you just get into tech. It's so different in the industry compared to school environment. And it's very important to, like, I think at school it's more about a school project. But at work, it's a lot about communication and soft skills. So I think, so first I want to acknowledge that it is normal to feel that way because it's completely different environment and it's a very new field. It's a lot of challenge, especially nowadays tech. Like for example AI, they come up with new things every day, so it's hard to keep track. So it can be overwhelming with so much information and a very different environment. So I want to acknowledging that it's common to feel that way at the beginning. And then for the tips, I would say, first you would like the tips for feeling overwhelming is like acknowledging first and then just pace it yourself. Like you have a small step at a time and then you have a concrete goal. So you're focusing on the goal instead of, you want to try everything. So that would really helps, I think.
Okay,
a lot of people they want to, I have a high expectation on myself, but I'm here. I'm so overwhelmed because there's a huge gap between where I am now compared to my expectation, right? So that can feel a little bit overwhelmed. So a good way to look at it is, what is the first step you can do right now? And then focus on the first step, set a goal, and then you just only focus on that first step, and then just focus on the present. So you will feel a lot less panic or overwhelmed if you focus on the, first milestone and then focus on the moment.
And then I have another question for you, since you have been so fast-paced in your career. How did you try to accelerate your career? Did you measure something? Did you seek out advice or progress or feedback, as you said, from your managers? Or how did you started your career and progress it so fastly?
I think a lot. So one thing is I care a lot about what I really interested in. I mean, it's something called follow your heart, but like, people say it all the time, but I think it's actually very important because I understand myself, like I'm interested in motivation. So I'm motivated by things I find it's more impact, it's more meaningful. I feel more motivated. So I tend to do things that I think has more impact and more motivate me more. So I intentionally choose to, do the project that I feel more motivated to do, the goals of the team, I feel more motivated. So that's a very important. And also I think I'm very lucky to have some good managers and good mentors. Also, I find coach in Google and outside Google. I talk to them often to reflect on, okay, this is what I feel recently. Maybe I'm suffering from imposter syndrome. I'm trying to have a sounding board with them to reflect on, maybe I'm just too harsh on myself. What are different ways to look at this? So I reflect a lot, and I think I got a lot of help from other like coach or mentor. I have some mentor in Google as well to, share their expertise and give me some suggestions as well.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Lastly, one question I still have is, what's one lesson from your own career journey that you wish you had learned earlier?
One lesson. That's a good question. One lesson I wish I should learn earlier.
Yeah.
I think one thing is I should learn is be patient. Because, when I want to achieve something and then I really want to achieve them right away or like as soon as possible. So oftentimes, at the beginning, I'm like, put so much energy on it. And then my energy slowly die down. And then at some point, if I'm not getting enough feedback or positive reinforcement, it's hard for me to keep going. And it's hard for me to, reach the goal. So I think one lesson I learned is to be patient. It's, everyone want to achieve something, but you should be patient and believe in yourself, trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust that as long as you're making one small step and making positive, impact and have small step and continuously and trust it will compound, trust that you will get into the direction you want and be patient so that you can eventually compound. And that's what matters. It's not about, how much you instantly, immediately get to a certain level. But if it's not lasting or if you burn out or if you run out of energy, then you won't you will feel you probably have to try it again and you end up putting more effort than you should pace it at the beginning. So I think that's a lesson I learned.
Wow, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much for being here at the
Thank you
Creator
for
Studio
having me.
today. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone.